Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today we're going to get right into the Leo weekly. Before we do that, though, let me just move a few things out of the way. Let me get my computer out of the way. All right. Okay, guys. So, starting a little early, waiting for people to join. Hello, Sheila. How you doing? Thank you for joining. All right. Thank you to everyone who is watching this. To my regulars who know that I've been away, thank you so much for coming back to me. All right. We're going to get right into it. Before we do, let me just remind everyone that this month, this is the deck that I'm giving away, the same deck that I'm using on my channel, on my reading today. Hello, Spiritual K. This is the deck I'm giving away, and all you have to do is be subscribed to my channel. And let me know that you're interested in the reading, in the drawing. And at the end of the month, check out the winner video and see if you're the winner, right? So subscribe, leave me a comment, and that's it. Watch to see if your name has been called out on the winner video, and then just contact me so I can send you your new deck. All right, guys. We're going to get right into it. It's almost 11:30. The time on the thumb stamp is wrong. Oops, sorry, I made a mistake. It's 11:30. This reading is starting. So let me get into it. Hello, Jamie. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. So Leo, huh? Guess what? So anyway, I'm a Leo moon. I'm a Sagittarius with a Leo moon. So I love doing my Leo readings. And I am using my beautiful Spirits of Darkness and Light Oracle deck. So we're going to get right into pulling out your 3 oracles for this week and seeing what the week may look like for you. We're going to get into your animal spirits, and then we'll pull out your spread. So straight out, we have the Spirit of the Dummy. Wow. This is an interesting card. Weakness, the follower, you know, the clueless one. You know, it's an interesting spirit, right? We have Spirit of the Cross. So a burden, a hardship. Some of you are dealing with hardships, of course. A lot of people are dealing with hardships right now, right? It's difficult for everyone. So Spirit of the Cross is coming in. Spirit of the Waters. So cleansing, healing, right? Emotional healing coming in. So I was wondering, you know, Spirit of the Cross with that burden, but it's also lessons. Spirit, you know, the Spirit of the Cross brings with it a lot of lessons. So it's interesting set of oracle cards for you this week, Leo. Strong oracle cards. And I'm not surprised Spirit of the Dummies come in, because you always have like some kind of oracle card for someone you're dealing with. You know, this is absolutely someone you're dealing with. You know, let's get right into it. I think that oracle card showed up for you last time as well. I'll have to go back and check. All right, let's get right into your animal spirits, my lovelies. The owl. I'm going to take that one. I love that one. The owl, abundance coming in, wisdom coming in. All right. Let's cut your deck and get your animal spirits for this week out, and then we're going to get right into your spread. All right, we have the swan, water spirit, beautiful. We have the butterfly, air spirit, and we have the eagle. Wow, strong. Not surprising, you know, not surprising that you have the Spirit of the Cross and the eagle, because I'm going to get right into it. Let me start with the swan, and I'm going to end on the eagle. Hello, Madonna. The Spirit of the Swan. The Spirit of the Swan is associated with grace and beauty, right? And refinement. Refined beauty and refined art. So a lot of times the swan is an energy of usually for an artist, maybe even a writer, right? Someone who's into literature, someone who's into poetry and things of that nature. And it's this feeling of wanting to refine that skill. It's a very specific animal spirit. It could be that you are studying with a master. It could be that you're going down a particular road where you are perhaps refining a particular type of art that you're doing or skill that you're doing. It doesn't even always have to just be art or literature. It could just be some area in your life that you are very creative, or that you've become more and more creative. And now is the time where you're really focusing in, you're honing it, you're refining it, and it's a real sort of putting your emotions into your creative sort of expression. It's a real sort of, also, I want to say, a place along the journey of someone who is finding their artistic side or their creative side. You may be a lot, you may have already always had that, or this may be new for you, but this is definitely a journey where you've gotten to a place where you can be very emotionally invested, and you're really becoming sort of one with your art in a way, so that it is really expressing who you are. It's a very nice, refined feeling, a feeling of mastery. Now the butterfly comes in, and the butterfly is, of course, all over the world. We associate the butterfly with transformation, right? Transformation. It is an air elemental. And so this transformation oftentimes is also a transformation of the psyche, of the mind, of the personality, of the person who you are. It's expansion. Because this transformation, now you're able to fly. Like the butterfly, you're able to fly. So it's the kind of transformation that involves a quantum leap. But the butterfly also reminds us that, because a lot of times when we talk about in tarot, people are always talking about that. Readers, we are always talking about, oh, you have this big transition happening, this big change is coming in, you're going through something, it's going to be great. And a lot of times we forget about the fact, or certainly I try to highlight, that a lot of this comes with growing pains. There's a lot of growing pains associated with a transition, or even a transcending up. There's growing pains, because whenever there's a movement, there's also a leaving behind of something. And so there's always, it's difficult. It's not, it's never, I try to bring my readings down to the ground. And so the butterfly is also the totem for friendship. It's at times like this where you should be reaching out to the friends that you trust, that you love, even if you only have a couple friends in your life that you feel that way about. And I've always said that if you can count your friends on one hand, good friends on one hand, you're a very blessed person, because true good friends are very difficult to find. However, it is at a time of this kind of transformation that you're going through with the butterfly, which is ultimately a mental sort of expansion, that oftentimes you will need your friends to lean on at times for strength, for motivation, for the difficult times, for the growing pains. Now the eagle comes in, more air element, but the eagle is so strong. The eagle is the spirit animal that comes in when we are going through very karmic experiences, right? The experiences that are happening for some of you right now are the type of experiences in your life that, depending on the person you bring to the table, right? Depending on who you bring to the table, the repercussions are going to reverberate throughout your life to a certain degree. These are karmic times. There are times in your life, where the decisions that you make have much more far-reaching repercussions and I want to say is consequences, right, than other times in your life. And so when the spirit of the eagle comes in, this is a time where life and the spirit, the universe is asking you to bring your best game, bring your best personal self, bring your best, effort, your truest effort. The eagle is also the truth seeker. We call the eagle the truth seeker with his, focus, his laser focus. The eagle is such a powerful animal spirit, right? And he is associated with being the truth seeker because also this is at a time where there is no room to compromise, right? There's no room for compromises right now. This is what we talk about, bringing your best game. There's no room for you to compromise who you are, your feelings, your morals, your spiritual center. Only with that kind of drive and determination and power can you really sort of I want to say transcend and make the most of times in your life that are very significant. Of course, all of our lives are significant, but there are specific times in our lives where we are going through, where there's an energy sort of where it coalesces, different times. They can be crossroads that we're coming to. They can be cycles that we go through. Sometimes we talk about the 7-year cycle. Some people talk about the 12-year cycle. There are all of these different points in our lives where, what we do at that time is just so, so, so important. And this is why we want the power of the spirit of the eagle. And it is at those particular times where you can't compromise. You really can't compromise. You have to be 100% with everything that you do. So that you can make the most of that time. You certainly don't want to look back and regret the decisions that you made. The spirit of the eagle. The eagle is, of course, the master of air, but he has a lot of fire there also. And of course, the owl popped out. And I always, if the owl pops out, I want to keep him because the owl is the totem for abundance and wisdom coming in. And the owl is more specifically associated with blessings. Now, sometimes blessings can be in the form of abundance. They can be a blessing of wealth or material, things, comfort. That is, of course, a blessing. And that is something that we should want and work for in our lives. This idea that wanting to be materially comfortable is at odds with being spiritually enlightened is nonsense. However, the owl talks about blessings. And so these blessings can also be blessings of understanding, blessings of wisdom, blessings of love, blessings of friendship, right? So the owl, oftentimes what the owl brings in is a blessing. And sometimes, things are blessings in disguise, right? So the owl, sometimes what it brings, you're not sure right away, right? You don't realize until later that, wow, this was such a huge blessing sometimes. All right, guys, let's get right into your spread. We're going to pull out 3 spreads for the week. I do hope the sound is all right, guys. Let me know if anything's wrong with the sound because I can't hear what it sounds like online. The one thing about these cards is that they are quite tricky to shuffle. I'm used to shuffling a lot of cards, but if you don't have big hands like me, they can be difficult to shuffle. All right, guys, I'm going to cut your deck now. Let's just see what you're going through. All right. Thank you, Sheila. I appreciate that, darling. All right. We have 6 of Pentacles. Interesting. Generosity, right? 9 of Pentacles. There's your reward. And a 10. Major Arcana, Wheel of Fortune. Well, there you go. Okay. So for some of you, 6 of Pentacles is coming in. 6 of Pentacles is generosity. In this deck, it's called the card for generosity. And I love the 6 of Pentacles. It is really, it's a time in our lives where we are being generous. We're being charitable with our time, with our money, with our abundance, with the things that we have. So 6 of Pentacles oftentimes can indicate that you might be working in the community. Leo, you may be helping people. You may be working in the community. You may be helping a friend. Right? A lot of times 6 of Pentacles can be you coming to the aid of somebody who has come to you for help as well. But it's something you desire. It's something that you find that you enjoy, right? 6 of Pentacles talks about the spirit of giving, the wanting to give, having it also, having enough, right? And it's also balanced because 6 is the number for harmony in tarot. So we always want to hello, spiritual K. We always want to talk about 6, harmony when we're talking about sort of mental harmony, emotional harmony, or something like that. But we also have 6 of Pentacles, harmony with our abundance and our material possessions. a feeling of harmony with them. So not always wanting, not always, wanting more and more and more. At the same time, not always struggling. Having that happy sort of harmony with our abundance and our material world around us, and that necessitates wanting to give. That necessitates wanting to give part of what we have to others. So it's a very nice feeling. And this week you come in and you only resonate higher financially with the Nine of Pentacles. Huge opportunity comes in for some of you this week. And I'm going to say it's as a result of all of this work that you've been doing. I think for some of you, you have absolutely been working somewhere. Either you've been helping out with, I feel like it's a vulnerable part of the community, right? Or your neighborhood, something about your life, something, a portion of the people in your life that you feel connected to, whether that is your community or your neighborhood or people that you grew up with, something like that is what it feels like. And through that, this beautiful opportunity comes in. I want to say that somehow you end up actually not only helping, but really this golden opportunity comes in for more money to be made, more abundance, specifically financial. This is Pentacles, and then the Wheel. And so you round off the week with the Wheel of Fortune, and things begin to happen in a very unexpected way. This is something I've been saying about my readings for a while, despite the fact that it seems like, a lot of people will have you sort of feel like, the world, it's everything's topsy-turvy. Everything is chaotic. Yes, it is. Yes, it is chaotic. However, the world has always gone through extremely chaotic times. This is not the first. This will not be the last. My readings for my collective, my people, my tribe, you guys are continuing to sort of, I want to say flourish. You're continuing to flourish. My readings keep talking about you guys flourishing, you guys finding your niche. Despite having difficulties, suddenly something turns and the money comes in. Again, it happens here. You're helping out. And again, this golden opportunity comes in. The Wheel of Fortune comes in. And it almost feels to me like what started almost like a nonprofit. Feels to me like for some of you, what started as a nonprofit suddenly makes a lot of money. And yes, it's still a nonprofit. And of course, why can't nonprofits make money? We have to think, a lot of times we have to change our thinking, as well. Why shouldn't nonprofits make money? That's the whole point. Why should they always be struggling? Well, in this case, somebody out there is working in some capacity like that. And some idea you have or some option, some opportunity comes in, and it is a golden opportunity for you guys to really take what you're trying to do to another level. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. King of Swords comes in, the Hierophant comes in, and the Page of Wands. Well, I love the Page of Wands in this deck with those beautiful poppies. I believe those are poppies. King of Swords comes in for some of you. Again, the Truth Seeker. So this is definitely ego energy. So some of you are coming in this week and you are not taking any prisoners. There's a particular situation that you're having to handle. Right? The King of Swords shows up when you're having to handle something a lot of times. He's, of course, the one who comes in with the ideas and the solutions. But that will be more Knight Swords, right? King of Swords comes in when rules need to be put down, words need to be had, that difficult conversation needs to be had, the truth needs to be found out about a particular situation sometimes. All of these things can be associated with this energy, and that's what I'm feeling is the main focus for this King of Swords that you're coming in with. We can always interpret him differently depending on the vibe and the spread. But this is how I'm feeling you're coming in, Leo. Like this week, you are coming in like handling something. Something happened. Something went wrong. You might be dealing with the spirit of the dummy. You know what I mean? Like you might have been dealing with the spirit of the dummy. And sometimes it feels like, when you watch TV, it feels like there's a lot of dummies out there. But, some of you are dealing directly with the dummy. You're having to come in this week and really lay down the law. However, you come into the week and some of your experiences, you come up against this Hierophant energy. The Hierophant comes in for you. And the Hierophant is all about really doubling down on your spiritual center, right? Recommitting to your way of life, recommitting to Dharma, right? A lot of times it can indicate coming in contact with a spiritual sort of leader for you or a guide. It can also just indicate that energy of deep, deep, deep commitment. You know, with the here, 5 is the number for power struggle. And the major arcana of 5 is the Hierophant. Well, the second 5 is the 15. That's the card for the devil. So with the devil, we find that internal power struggle that is humongous, you know. Here with the Hierophant, there is no struggle. There is no power struggle with the Hierophant. There is only commitment. There's only faith. When you have true and utter 100% faith, and the kind of faith we talk about in your spiritual center or your moral center, there is no conflict. And it took a long time in my life for me to really understand that statement, because you talk to people who are older, who are religious, whatever. A lot of times you'll hear this with people who are Christians, right? Especially in America, you know, you say, you know, with God, there is no conflict. With Jesus, there is no conflict. There is no power struggle when I have Jesus on my side. Now, I'm just saying that as an example. I'm pretty sure that the same is for other religions too. You know, with Allah on my side, there is no struggle. I know there is no, you know what I mean? There's no wavering. There's only what I know. There's only commitment. There's only my faith. And this is the understanding of the Hierophant, where we talk about 5 being the number for power struggle in the tarot. That dichotomy between the Hierophant and the devil, where there is no struggle and then there is constant turmoil. In any case, this is it. This is that finding that center. So for some of you this week, you are dealing with certain things and you're really having to keep calling yourself back to your belief, your spiritual center, whatever the case may be, right? So whatever these experiences are that you're having, some of you this week, you're really having to hold on to your faith, man. You're having to double down on your faith. Your faith may even be tested, right? It may even be tested this week. And it's interesting because you round the week off with a Page of Wands, and Page of Wands is idealism. So the Hierophant and the Idealist come, you know, the Hierophant comes in this week, but you round off as the Idealist. So for some of you, between the King of Swords, who is the thinker, the man with the ideas, some of you are really coming out the end of this week with a passion to follow something new. This is going to be something that's along the lines of your faith, but a new idea, a new philosophy, maybe even, but something that you feel very, very strongly. And this is all going to be coming out of your experiences this week, compounded by just the pressure of everything that's been going on recently. And this feels to me very much like a butterfly moment. I'm not saying that you're going to be changing completely like your belief system or anything like that. It is certainly a transformation. The Hierophant and then the Page of Wands, it almost feels like you really do bloom in a lot of ways. You bloom out of your faith into something new and creative. Something very, very creative comes out of it. In this deck, the Page of Wands is the card for venture. So not only is it something that you feel strongly passionate about, but it is an endeavor. It feels like a new endeavor for some of you Leos that is very, very spiritually centered. And that really comes out of, I'm going to say, how you started off this week with this idea of having to come into a particular problem and fix it. There's some kind of issue, some kind of problem, and really having to come in and fix it. And so you round off with this whole new path and idea that you have here. All right, the Hermit. How many readings in a row? For my regulars, how many readings in a row, honestly? The Hermit has been out for every reading. I believe in the last reading it popped out. In this reading, it's coming out for the last one. We'll see if it's there for the next reading. Unbelievable. Of course, the Hermit is there. You know, and this is what I talk about. This happens in my readings all the time. I've noticed this on my channel. For periods and cycles of time, certain cards will come up for almost every reading, and the Hermit is one of them. And a lot of you are having introspection right now. You're being forced to live hermited lives. We are all being forced to live according to the Hermit in a lot of ways. right? We're away from our usual connections, our usual family ties, friend ties, experiences, daily activities. This is something that's happening to everyone. So why am I not surprised that the Hermit has shown up for all the readings? But for this particular Leo, some of you are really going inward with this. You're really going in. I want to say you're having a real week of introspection. There is something to do. This is certainly something to do with the relationship. It could be that you've had some time off from a particular relationship and you've really had some time to think about how you feel. Because this week, the experiences you have, you come up against some Four of Cups energy. So whatever you go through this week, you resonate with Four of Cups. So you're like, somebody's trying to hand you a cup of love, and you're like, no, I'm not interested, right? And so this is why I'm saying it's like it's interesting because this Hermit energy, whatever this work or introspection that you've been going through, you've really been on your own. You've been happy with your own space. This is something about Leos that a lot of people, people talk about Leos like, oh, they always need to be the center of attention. Look at lions. Yeah, they do. They like to strut around and be at the center of attention, but a lot of times they're put there, first of all. But truly, yes, they enjoy it. But they also a lot of times enjoy being the fuck on their own, right? Sometimes the lion like off somewhere under a tree, like just everybody leave me the fuck alone. The cubs, everyone, just leave me alone. And this is true, and Leos, you guys are very, very fiery, but you do enjoy your own company and your own space once you get used to it, and certainly for those of you who are resonating with this Hermit energy this week, whoever is trying to get with you, you're just like, nah. You're like, look at the Four of Cups. Look at her. She's so cute on this picture. I love the card. She's just like, no, I'm really good over here. You can stay over there. I'm really just okay over here. I'm chilling, and I just don't, you know what I mean? And that's Four of Cups for you. It's just kind of unavailable, unimpressed, right? And you round off your week with a Page of Swords, and again, it's like it's funny because you say no, but then the Page of Swords, you're feeling very confident moving forward. You're feeling quite happy coming out the end of this week. It could be that you have a nice idea about how to handle this particular individual. I want to feel for some of you. I feel like this particular person who's coming at you, I want to say that at some point or another, you may have been irritated with them for something else, right? Or they may have hurt your feelings once before because you round off the week so damn like perky. And I think you're perky because you were able to say no to this person. Because you were able to just, and you meant it. It wasn't like, I'm going to say no and pretend like you know what I mean? I'm talking about real feelings. Like really feeling like, no, I'm not interested, and you're really not interested. And it's like, maybe there was a time before you were, or maybe, something went down and it hurt your feelings. Because it's funny, you're very honest. You're not playing any games. You say no, thank you, but you round the week off Page of Swords. It feels like you have come out from under a little small black cloud to me, right? That was associated with this person, maybe a past event. It almost feels like a cleansing. Remember, the spirit of the waters are here. Healing, cleansing. And sometimes, when you finally get to a point with some people that you've had a tricky time in the past with, right? Like we've all been there, right? And it's that feeling of like, when you see them again after a while, perhaps, or what have you, right? And the healing really has happened. And you didn't need to see them to know that you were healed, right? But seeing them and having the opportunity to, maybe have a Four of Cups moment where you just say, no, thank you. It's just like, it wasn't necessary for the healing, but it's like the little icing on top of the cake. You know what I mean? It's that little bit of honey on top. Like, oh yeah, I was over this, but now I can really laugh about it. Now I can really get on with my life. You know what I mean? Of course I was already getting on with my life, but it just puts a fucking pep in your step. And that's the Page of Swords. And that's how I feel, Leo. Like some of you are just like, you're like, this is a nice little release, that last little bit from that jerk or that bitch or whoever that person was that, was irritating. And this week you had your opportunity. And a lot of this has come out of, and I'm going to say this is interesting, of course, because this whole kind of feeling and strength and confidence has come out of your being on your own for quite some time. In that hermit energy, being introspective, being okay with it, not needing anybody, not needing them, and really, in fact, preferring your own company than dealing with the drama of this individual. And sometimes there is always that drama, isn't there? All right. Hey, Patty Cakes. Oh my God. You just came in. Patty Cakes. Shout out to my member, Patty Cakes. All right, guys. Oh, you know what? That reminds me. I do have to do a shout out to my lovely Leo members. If you want to get a shout out on a video, all you have to do is join my channel as a member. And to do that, you just click the join button next to the subscribe. Shout out to Patty Cakes, who is a Leo. And shout out to Dinah Morris, who is also a Leo member on my channel. When I get my situation all hooked up, my equipment all together, an introvert. You see what I mean? I'm a Leo moon. I have a Leo moon, and I like being on my own sometimes, Patty Cakes, So I get that. Leos can be introverts. But as soon as I get everything squared away with my technology and I'm getting things, I will be doing that members only video series. I'm still waiting for 100 people to join as a member. And then we will have that really lovely, intimate members only video love series that I am working on a bunch of stuff. But anyway, guys, this is the end for your reading this week, the weekly. Thank you so much. Big shout out to all my chatters, Sheila, Gilbert, Spiritual K, Jamie, Madonna, Patty Cakes, Margaret. Who else joined? Oh, and that's it. All right, guys, thank you so much for stopping by, for chatting. Thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe and let me know if you're interested in being in a drawing for this deck, okay? End of the month, you'll have to come back and check and see if you are the winner, all right? And if you are the winner, let me know what your details are so I can go ahead and send the deck to you, all right, guys? But I love you so much, Leo. Have a wonderful week. Please stay safe. Please try to stay as healthy as you can and stay kind to each other. All right, guys, I'm going to take a little break and then I will be back with the Virgo Weekly. Bye-bye, guys.